So the left's installation of Joe Biden is a culmination of a 40-year quest to demoralize and destabilize America. Slowly, our socialist enemies, led by Russia, have been working to infect the minds of American young people. Useful idiots buying into the dreams of a socialist utopia. Those Americans are unknowingly being used by our enemies to train the next generation of Americans to embrace the promise of socialism. This has been going on for decades in America, and their devious subversion is nearly complete. It all sounds like a grand conspiracy theory until you listen to one of the men who helped carry out this scheme to take down America, KGB defector Yuri Bezmenov. I came across an interview of his from 1984.
Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism.
Well, he calls it psychological subversion, and he insists it is far more powerful than espionage. And the first stage of that subversion is what he calls demoralization.
What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country.
Well, if you think about what he's saying, it's amazing to see what's going on today. Now think about this. Reality in America is already gone. We have half a nation that doesn't see the importance of border security. We have half a nation that can't figure out why it's wrong to let men who claim to be women compete with complete dominance in female sports. We have an election system where half the nation doesn't think you should need ID to vote. These are common sense issues that one would think we would all agree on. But thanks to psychological subversion, demoralization is becoming a reality. And reality in America is gone.
Exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him.
This is what we're seeing over and over again. Just look at what President Trump said about these issues I just mentioned. The left went apocalyptic after his CPAC speech. Here's why. Our enemies, through Hollywood, through the media, our schools and universities, have clearly wiped out American values because none of this should really trigger anyone, but it does.
Joe Biden has triggered a massive flood of illegal immigration into our country, the likes of which we have never seen before. We must have voter ID. There should be a 100% requirement to verify the citizenship of every person who votes. It's not good for women. It's not good for women's sports. They are now being forced to compete against those who are biological males.
I mean, think about this now, folks. Somehow, all of that is controversial. It shouldn't be. But after demoralizing a country to the point where you think comments like those are offensive, well, the next phase warns that KGB defector is destabilization, to create chaos in America. What do you think is at the heart of what Antifa and Black Lives Matter rioters are doing right now? They are hungry for a destabilized America, a country in chaos. And these subversive radicals continue to keep us in that state of chaos.
It has to be stopped unless you want to end up in gulag system and enjoy all the advantages of socialist equality. Working for free, catching fleas on your body, sleeping on the planks of plywood in Alaska this time, I guess. That's where Americans will belong, unless they will wake up.
Listening to that man is chilling on its face. All of it, by the way, leads us to Joe Biden, a man who is on a mission to ruin the economy, destroy the idea of free markets, and install a big brother government, as that KGB defector had called out many years ago. In short, What Joe Biden wants to do is bring this country to crisis, the final phase, before every freedom as we know it is snatched away.
This is what will happen in the United States if you allow all these schmucks to bring the country to crisis, to promise people all kind of goodies and the paradise on earth.
Well, look, he calls them schmucks. It makes you want to laugh because that's what they are, the people doing this, only they're much more dangerous than just an average schmuck, right? The sad reality is it could take decades to turn back the tide. So, folks, if you're not scared by now, then you can't be scared of anything. The time bomb is ticking. And if we don't right this ship in 2022 and again in 2024, there will be no place left on earth to defect to. Because even now, America is still the defector's paradise. But the world communist system wants us destroyed. And the useful idiots in this nation are helping them do it.
Hi, Emma Reckenberg here. If you like this video, there's a whole lot more to see on Newsmax TV. You can watch for free right here on our YouTube live stream and be the first one here each time our experts break down real news. Just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and stay with us on America's fastest growing cable news channel, Newsmax TV.